Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast, Everything Product. We talk about various insights on latest technologies with a product mindset. This is Phani. I'm a product manager at Intuit.
Hello, everybody. This is Sid Saladi. I'm a product manager at Best Buy.
In this, we are currently doing a series where we are talking about different crypto concepts and what we are currently doing and what is our perspective about it. In this specific podcast, we are planning to talk about what are the different wallets that we use, what we think about them, and what we recommend to you guys. Sindhu, let me start with a simple question. Like, what are the crypto wallets that you use, and what would you recommend to our listeners?
Yeah, I've been trying different wallets, but my go-to wallet is Coinbase wallet, and the one which I would recommend is Metamask.
Nice. Cool. Let me ask another question to you. What do you think is a wallet, and why do we need it?
Yeah, so when the term comes to my mind, right, wallet is something where you can hold cash, cards, and all of that, right, in the physical world. But in the digital world, it's basically a space where you can have different kinds of uh, currencies, right? And you can check the balance, send money, and receive money, right? So that's the basic functionality of a digital crypto wallet. What about you?
Yeah. So in general, right? Let me try to like compare a physical world to a crypto world, right? In general, there is a bank that does all of the transactions, store the transactions. Same way in crypto world, there is a blockchain that does all the transactions, store all the transactions. And then let's say you have some kind of credentials that you use to log into your bank. Same way we have private keys or like API key and API secrets that would help you like access your blockchains. And the third and the most important thing is, in order for you to store your credentials, where do you keep it? So in our physical world right now, we just store it in our like password managers, or we store it in our awesome brains, etc. But in order for us to solve that for the crypto world, we use crypto wallets.
So yeah, let's maybe get into the details. So there are blockchains, right? Blockchains are basically ledgers which has all the details of transactions, and there are multiple of blockchains. What your wallet does is it actually stores uh, the public key, private key of what you own. I'm
Mhm.
assuming so. It's basically a software built to basically store a record of all of these things, and also for you to ability to transfer and receive funds, right?
Actually, I'll slightly change the definition there, right? So if you think of a wallet, okay, it doesn't store anything honestly, because all the transactions happen on blockchains. So everything is in blockchain. But in order for you to like transfer it to someone, you need to have a key. And all of the wallets, right, generate, I think, either a 12-word password or a 24-word password. And you need to like remember that. And if you have that password, you can create a wallet or use that wallet anywhere. It doesn't have to be like a, you could have created that with Coinbase wallet, but you could have gone to something else like 3 years later. Just with that passphrase, you can use that wallet anywhere, and that is all the wallet stores.
Sure. So it's basically just the primary keys and the private keys which it's storing. And this is so it's basically the keys you have in the wallet, and you can actually open that to access your funds,
Yep.
right? So one other question. So when we compare that to our traditional banks, right? So banks basically help us see money, send money, receive money, right? But you have a username, account, and password to that. But wallets are a little different, where you have a primary key. I think that's what your username is, I'm assuming, right?
So I'll also add a little thing, right? So I was watching a video from Crypto Casey today. I'll
Mhm.
add her link also somewhere in the description. So she was explaining that you have a mobile app. Okay. So when you're trying to access a bank, you have a mobile app that gives you all the required capabilities, like to see your balance, to send the transactions, receive the transactions, etc. And that's exactly what a wallet is doing. So if you're thinking about, let's say, Coinbase wallet, and you have credentials, and when you once you provide the credentials, it gives you a good interface where you can um, you can like see your current balance, you can send the money, receive the money, etc. But since Chase, for example, let's take Chase. Chase has their own app, or let's say Bank of America has their own app. But for blockchains, there is no app, and that's what a wallet is doing. A
Facilitate.
wallet is basically a mobile app for different blockchains.
It's basically a UI for doing all of these transactions, and a facilitator, a gateway kind of thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But I know that putting money, having money, opening an account is very straightforward in traditional banks, but in crypto world it's not that easy. So I was actually trying to see what are the different steps we have to go through to add funds to it. I guess first what you do is you go in and create an account, right? Once you create an account, you select a username, then you select it's a public or private wallet, and then you have a backup phrase. I think I'm most afraid of that phrase where it's a 12 word password, where you have to remember that, and it's also not safe to store it in your phone because iCloud could be hacked, and this could give people access to your funds. So you basically write it somewhere and remember it. And the next step is basically it asks you to select all of that. So that's also a tedious process where you select all of that stuff, and then you create a wallet, right? So once you have created a wallet, you're not done. If I have to send money, I have to select the wallet which I'm sending, and I have to only send it to the same cryptocurrency. If I do it to a different chain, that also gets lost. So there's a lot of risk and also fear that goes through the process, and also the process is very lengthy. I feel that all of these things somehow should be handled by the software, and remove that piece where it's discouraging people to come into crypto world. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. It is few of them are very straightforward the way I understand, right? So let's take Metamask or like Coinbase wallet. It takes the very first time, it takes time to like set up the account, making sure your identity is verified, that you are Phani, like giving your driver's license, validating, etc. But once that is done, it's similar to a regular money transfer. Like they'll give you the QR codes, they'll give you the public address. You can use the public address to transfer money to Sidhu or any of our friends. And I think these apps are also improving day by day. So one of the things that I've observed recently, right? I started using Metamask first. Metamask was comparatively simpler to like set it up and then transfer money, etc. And they also support different kinds of crypto related assets as well, like NFTs or anything like that, where you can use it with like OpenSea or any of the other marketplaces where you can connect it and store all of them. So that way, these guys play a very key role in like storing all of your data at one place.
Yeah. So I think that's also interesting, right? So I think there is a lot of space to improve, but it's a good start for all of these wallets, right? Where the things they provide and all of that stuff. But also the main reason why I started exploring wallets was, right? So I have all of my cryptocurrencies in different exchanges and all of that stuff. That's when I, as a research more, right, I got to know that cryptocurrencies basically don't back your currencies with something which they have, right? So uh, typically imagine you have like 10 BTC, you might not be tied to the 10 BTC that is backed out in the exchange. So there could be multiple owners of that coins, but wallets are belonging to you and you are the single owner for that. So I think that's what uh, provoked me to start exploring different wallets and see what the use cases are and all of that stuff.
Yeah, that is true. I think I've seen one of the recent news, right, where Coinbase changed their legal terms or something like that to say if the company goes bankrupt or something happens to the bank, will the customer still continue to have the cryptocurrency? No. If Coinbase goes bankrupt, customers won't have anything. But at the same time, if the customer has done some transactions, let's say through Coinbase, but took all of their cryptos and stored it in a wallet, anything that's in a wallet can never be accessed by anyone. So your cryptocurrency is always safe.
It's safe because it is basically inside the blockchain, which is tamper proof, right? So yeah. And also a lot of people say this, right? Like crypto is like you're owning it, nobody's controlling the money and all of that stuff. But yeah, I understand that. But when you're going through a centralized exchange, that the case might not be true, where you have to maybe select a private wallet which actually has your funds, right? So that's also something which people might want to explore as they are looking at different wallets and all of that stuff. So also this brings up another question, right? So there are a lot of different types of wallets, right, Funny? So what are the different types of wallets, and maybe you can get into the details of those things.
Yeah, definitely. So the primary way we can differentiate the wallets, right, are hot wallets and cold wallets. Hot wallets, like we are talking about, are Coinbase wallet or a Metamask wallet, which is basically on the web. Like you can have it installed on your browser, or you can have it installed on your app. I'll quickly show it to you on how I keep it on my browser, right? So on the right, if you see here, so this is a MetaMask wallet.
Mm-hmm.
It's not opening up. Yeah, this is the MetaMask wallet. So as you can see here, I'm currently using Ethereum. This is my account address. So if I want someone to like send money to me, I can just give this account and they'll be able to send money to me. Same way, this is my Coinbase wallet. And so as you can see here, I have like $10 of Solana, I mean 9.81 of Solana. And if I want to get any of the NFTs or anything, I can see it here. So I have one NFT as well that's being stored. So all of my digital assets can be seen here. And
Yeah.
the other type, that we can see here is the cold wallets. Cold wallets are nothing but like physical wallets. So one of the examples is a ledger. As you can see here, this looks more like a USB, but you'll be able to connect this to your laptop and you can store all of your like passphrases and everything within this. And if you want to do any transactions, similar to the interface that we have seen with Coinbase wallet, this also has its own interface, which is basically installed on your MacBook. Let me quickly show that to you as well. So I show you my desktop. So this is the interface for Ledger. So Ledger is also showing me the similar things. It's telling that I have like $9 of, I believe this is Solana as well. Yeah, $9 of Solana. And it also gives you all the required capabilities. Like if you want to buy cryptocurrencies, you can do that. If you want to swap, you can do that. Or if you want to send it to someone, you have capabilities to like scan a QR code or add the public address. Similarly, if you want to receive or buy and sell, you can do everything within the same wallet. And if by any chance you lose this, you'll be able to transfer. And the only way is through the passphrase that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. So couple of interesting things here, right? So imagine our current digital wallets, right? Like bank accounts and all of that stuff, or maybe Paytm wallets and payment wallets and all of that stuff. You only have a way to store fiat currencies and some cryptocurrencies, but these wallets enable you to store anything that is digital, right? Like NFTs or your collections, and it could be even your identity and all of that stuff. So it's basically an expansion of a lot of digital things that you can monitor through these wallets. And I'm assuming these would have a lot of use cases where people can, I can give my private public key to someone and people could come in and look at my NFT collection, right? Something like that. And there could be a lot of use cases. That's one observation. Another one is I have never used a hardware wallet before. So how does that work? So do you basically buy cryptocurrency in application, and do you basically plug in the hardware and transfer it there, or how does it work?
That is correct. You can buy here itself. So the interface that I showed you, right, will enable you to do that. So even though it's installed on your desktop, it is basically connected to the internet. So all the transactions that you do basically goes to a blockchain. Um, like you were mentioning, right? Coinbase, when you do a transaction in Coinbase, it doesn't go to blockchain. But when you do any transaction within a cold wallet or in that case, any wallet goes to a blockchain. So it'll let you do any transactions. It'll let you do everything that you do with a hot wallet. But the only difference, it is basically stored. The passphrase is basically stored and only accessed through a hardware wallet.
So if you have to open up that, do we have to connect the hardware wallet?
Yes.
Okay. So basically the UI is just a snapshot of whatever assets you have, but the actual pass keys and all of that are stored in hardware wallet. So it could be cold also, right, where you're removing that, storing it somewhere, and you can access it maybe after 10 years or 20,000 when you'll have like maybe a
Yep.
million in your account, right? Yeah, yeah, man, that's a really interesting case, right? So this is money which is not, cannot be robbed by something. uh, People don't have access to it, and also there are governments who are not controlling the monetary policy of the supply and all of that stuff. So uh, I'm assuming, people would want to have more and more of these as they get better and better.
That's correct. Security wise, the cold wallets are much better. But for ease of use, the hot wallets are the best ones. Like anyone who is a novice customers who are using crypto, and if they want their assets to be safe and secure, you can start with the hot wallet. But once you come to a place where you are like transacting with thousands of dollars, and you're not really confident about anything new that's happening in the world, keep it in a cold wallet so that it's safe and secure. No hacker can access any of these, and then do transactions with your crypto that you own.
Yeah. So I remember a book which I was reading. So this is the big Bitcoin billionaires, I think. So these people are the founders of Gemini. So I think they were the initial adopters of Bitcoin, and they had a lot of Bitcoin which they bought, like millions, I guess, and that's now close to 10 billion worth or something. But the way they used to store it is they stored these keys, I think, in 8 different locations, just to make sure there is disaster recovery and all of that stuff. So I think that's how people are storing this stuff, right? So it's not safe out there, where imagine you write it on a paper and somebody finds it. It's easy to access your funds. So make sure you store it in a safe somewhere, and make sure you have a reliable place to store all of this information.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So funny, one other interesting thing, right? So I think this applies to all the people who are transferring funds. I can actually transfer on. So at this time, I think it's only feasible to transfer funds from one wallet, each wallet, to another wallet, right? There are other ways you can send it through different chains, but that also I'm not sure. So I've tried it multiple times, where it says ERC 20 chain, or it gives you different modes to transfer it, and also you're not sure what coin supports what. So I think that's also a big problem which people have, at least the crypto markets have to solve for, because as a novice user, I'm not sure. I don't want to go through all the process of trying to see where I have to send, how I have to send. The only thing I want to know is I want to send it to this person, and that gets transferred.
That's correct. So let me try to compare that with the fiat world, right? In a fiat world, let's say you're traveling to China right now, and let's say you use your credit card. What's happening in the back end? So in the back end, the bank in China is actually taking your credit card, validating that, and telling that, okay, Sidhu transacted $50 here. And they in turn talk to, let's say, Chase in US, and then they do a transaction on the back end. Now let's think of blockchains, right? Ethereum is one bank, and then Bitcoin is one bank. Right now, these don't talk to each other. Okay. And if you transfer Ethereum to a wallet which only holds Bitcoin, since these two don't talk to each other, they might not get the currency right. And if they don't have the right security protocols in place, you might lose your cryptocurrency. As that's one of the biggest risks, right? You need to make sure when you're transferring it to a public address, you need to make sure that person has set it up right. Otherwise, the either you're going to lose the money or the other person is going to lose the money. And I'll tell you why this is important. So I was showing you the hardware wallets, right? When you actually use this hardware wallet, this is also a software. Like I was explaining, this is basically the interface that will let you connect to your own bank. In this case, let's say Ethereum. So when you connect this, you will be installing the app within this. This funny part is, do you know how much space this one has? 64 MB.
Oh, really?
64 MB is nothing.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in a floppy drive sometime when I was a kid, right?
So
Hmm.
64 MB, all it let me install was I think I just installed Solana and Ethereum. That's it. After that, it said, "Hey, you don't have any more space to install anything else." I'm like, okay, I spent some $50 in buying this. All you do is like install two apps and nothing beyond that. I think all of these will improve down the line.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've also heard about things that happened, right? Like where hackers sell you hardware wallets, where once you put it and you plug in and connect with your wallet, it basically takes your all of the keys and they hack the money, right? So I think people should be also aware of where they are buying the hardware wallets and is it an authentic place or not and all of that stuff. So there's a lot of scams because anybody could write a software which could hack that, right? Get those keys. That's what they have to write, right?
that's correct. Yeah, even I heard that as well. Like you need to make sure to buy it from the right websites or the right portals to make sure that you're not getting a software that was tampered by someone else.
Yeah, and also another thing which I've seen is in my initial days, right, when Coinbase wallet came in, I basically put in like $100 or something. So I was actually trying to move that to my a different wallet, but the gas fees, basically Ethereum
Yeah.
gas fees is close to $68, right? So I'm literally losing 70% of the value when I move it to a different wallet. I think that's also something which the industry has to solve. I know that there are a couple of side chains which are doing that, like Polygon. I think instead of just Ethereum settling all the transactions, Polygon picks it up, settles it in a different chain, and then records it here. So that's basically making Ethereum much cheaper and cheaper. So yeah, I feel that there should it should be much easier, right? Like there shouldn't be a charge or maybe a cent or 2 cents or 3 cents or lower charge to transfer that.
That's actually a great point. And we should probably do a different podcast on the latest Ethereum merge and
Side
Ethereum
chains.
moving to like, yep. We should totally talk to that. I'm on the same page with you, not just the wallets, right? Let's say you're trying to like move from, let's say, Gemini to like Coinbase wallet. Everything goes through a blockchain, and the moment it's going through a blockchain, you have the gas fees involved, and the moment you have gas fees involved, you're losing money. I'm 100% on the same page with you. Down the line, all of these should be like much more easier. Even the primary blockchains, right? Like Bitcoin and Ethereum should make sure to reduce the fee, otherwise they are not sustainable.
Yeah, I think basically Solana actually came in as a competitor to Ethereum with a lower gas fees, but now Ethereum, uh, all these side chains which are helping Ethereum be better, right? So with that, I think the with using Polygon, the gas fees is down to 10 cents or even less than that, like just 1% of the total thing. So I think that's an interesting space to be in, Polygon, where which is actually helping Ethereum scale much better. One
Yep.
one interesting fact, Funny. So I was actually reading through this. We'll do another session for the merge and all, but I was reading through a news of the Ethereum merge and all, and they were saying that it reduces 99% of the power consumption. That's huge. 99% of the power consumption is reduced. Imagine, uh, how much power it was consuming before, and now how much is it doing now? So yeah.
Yeah, that's the primary difference of like proof of work and proof of stake, right? Proof of work, 100 people can try to do the exact same thing. But proof of stake, instead of those 100 people, only one person will be chosen to do that. So 99 people, they wouldn't even be spending their time to like validate the transactions in the blockchain. Yeah.
So also there are other use cases I was looking at, Funny. So uh, Coinbase, right? You can buy exchange stuff and all, but there's a lot of fees involved in it. So you can actually have a MetaMask wallet and go to decentralized exchange, link your stuff. You can do all of the stuff manually, and you'll have a very low fees, and the assets stay with you. Also for staking, right, you can actually go to a decentralized exchange like Uniswap or something, and which allows you to stake in different pools. So the pools are they are basically facilitating people to come in and pool up and stake their stuff, right? I can join the pools and basically get a higher interest back to my wallet. So these are also other use cases which people can look at to instead of depending me putting my funds into Gemini or Coinbase and them giving me a stake, I can get a better return here, and also the funds are tied to my account and I own it.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. I'll try it out.
And the UI, everything is so clunky. It took me so much time to do it. So it's not straightforward. So I think it'll get easy as we see more and more players in this market.
Yep, absolutely, Sidhu. Yeah, I don't know what else to talk.
I think we are. It was a really good discussion, Phani. So let's see. I think we can explore more and more concepts, right? I think crypto is an ocean. So the more we explore, the more deep we get into, and we are also still learning and trying to explore different things. So yeah, it was a really good conversation.
Awesome, Sidhu. Looking forward to additional podcasts.